Hey guys, this will serve as the weekly overview for November 4th. We are finishing up this block and then heading into the next block. Again, if you have not taken time to fill out that survey, do so and you'll have the ability to have some say in what we're going to do next. Okay, so going into this, I did not write out fitness for this video, but it's going to be the same thing, just push-ups and hang power cleans. What we have is 4 minutes to complete 3 rounds, 4 handstand push-ups, and 2 power cleans. Then you'll rest until the 4-minute mark, and then it's going to be 6 and 3, rest to the 8, 8 and 4, so on and so forth, basically with the 4-minute cap, and the reps are going to go up. Now, when we look at the weight here, we're going to have power cleans at 155 and 105. RX Plus, we're going to push strict, and power cleans at 185, 125. Now, when looking at this workout, this is really a tester workout, as we've kind of been pushing a lot on the power clean and handstand push-up. This workout's just going to see where we are in the sense of our ability to kind of, complete these in a quick amount of time and then, hold on for the long term. Now, the way this works is that each of the 3-round couplets, which a couplet is 2 movements right here, handstand push-ups and power cleans, will be capped at 4 minutes. So when you finish, say you finish this in 2.5 minutes, you have 90 seconds to rest before starting the next 3 rounds for time. Now, whatever you finish here, so when we look at this, finishing a round, if you get through, say you get through the whole 8 minutes and you make it this 12-minute cap, that means you completed 9 rounds, and then whatever remaining rounds and reps. So if you got through 1 round plus 5 handstand push-ups, that would be a total of 10 rounds plus 5 reps. Okay, pretty straightforward until you miss the cap. When we look at what is what is good here, scaling to get through and into this round of 8 and 4 is really good. Even pushing to try to even get closer to this 12 is going to be what I would think is going to be a good score. This is going to be a really tough round to complete, as the total volume is getting pretty high here. And then if you even get into this 16, I think that's probably where everybody's going to finish, and most people will finish under 20 minutes. Again, this is just really more about seeing where we are, testing the handstand push-up being a limiting factor of this workout. The power clean weight should be a little heavier, but you should be able to do quick singles or even touch and go sets, up until, let's just say, the rounds of 4 here. We should be able to go touch and go for 3, all the way through this. Once we get into the 4s and the 5s, maybe that's where we have to break those sets up. So try to scale the weight to where it's tough, but you can go touch and goes for most of the workout. All right, on Tuesday, we're going to be doing a gymnastic pulling skill. So we had this, learning the pull-up control, which were these progressive pull-ups. So this was a progressive pull-up 5. 5 progressive pulls. So this is starting out with 2 kip swings and then just slowly starting to pull a little bit higher. You can even finish with a bar muscle up there. But really it's just about keeping the legs together, keeping the feet tight, learning to generate power from that hollow arch position. We talk about tension, right? So tension through that swing, that kip swing, and then compressing down, keeping the elbows locked out. We don't want to see the elbows bending. We're really trying to learn how to build tension throughout the system and then use that with compression and then pulling a little bit higher. And we're really just working on seeing how high we can progress those pulls. If you can progress them all the way to a bar muscle up, that's great. All right, and if we're not really at the pull-up yet, we're going to be doing progressive kip swings. So the kips just get bigger, and then the toes get higher, and basically you're going to work on doing it all the way up to a toe to bar on your last rep. And again, 5 is reps, but it could end up taking 7 or 8 pull kips on each of these to get and progress up. But it's really just working on it wherever you're at and just trying to tighten up your positions. After that, we should be able to do this in 20 minutes. Okay, it's 3 rounds for time. We have 50 and 40 cal row, 24 box jumps with the step down, and then 12 chest to bars. RX Plus is going to be bar muscle ups, 12 for the guys and 9 for the ladies. Fitness, we're just dropping the calories down. We are going to still push to jump, and even if you have to scale this down to jumping on plates, that's what we want to do. And then we have a jumping chest to bar pull-up as well. Okay, when looking at this, when we put this into time perspectives, this is going to take anywhere from 2.5 to 3-ish minutes. Okay, then we've got, this probably takes us closer to the 5-minute mark by the time we're here, and then we have roughly a minute to finish the 12 chest to bars in order to get into that 18-minute mark, okay? And the top target of 15 minutes is going to be pretty tough, especially with the RX Plus, but if you have the bar muscle up volume or the ability to do that in two to three sets, for the most part, you should be able to push. The row and box jumps, moving and keeping those consistently quick is going to really be the game changer here as far as how far you get into this. Don't really want to push a hard cap at 20 minutes. It might end up being 21 or 22, but as long as we have time, we'll let people finish. All right, Wednesday, finishing off this long front squat cycle, and we're going to finish with just establishing a 1 rep max. Okay, we've been pushing a lot. We pushed a lot of volume. We saw a lot of heavier weights in the, when it came to like the 4s and the 6s and getting close to the 1 rep max. So now we're just going to have a test. This isn't a true 1 rep max test, considering we're doing it on a Wednesday, and we might have a little bit of fatigue, and that's okay. We're just going to see where the heavy single is here. Remember, keeping the elbows up, keeping the elbows away from the knees is going to be super important. If you have to bail, elbows in, we're dropping the bar in front of us, keeping it away from our knees, okay? If you even feel off at all, don't worry about hitting a 1 rep max. Just build, doing, sets 2s and 3s, and then, don't worry about pushing a 1 rep max unless you feel really good today. But a heavy single is a heavy single. So whether that is actually a true 1 rep max PR or it's just something that feels really heavy for the day, that's again always the goal, and we're trying to just lift heavy. Then we have 5 rounds for quality. Roughly 13 minutes, could take a little longer. But all we're looking at here is doing is 6 to 8 sumo deadlifts that keep us 2 reps from failure, okay? So I'm going to stick with the same weight for each of these, but just that's the weight range you're going to try to push, is just, warm up to a set that is tough for 8 reps. And then, by the last set, 6 would be closer to 6 reps would probably be where we're at. And then we have 16 to 12 sandbag box step-ups. Not really worried about the height. Just want you guys alternating, stepping up, stepping down. We're doing some single leg work in between those sets. And this is not for time, so just move steady. You're just trying to be done in roughly 13 minutes or so. So, 2 to 2+ minutes around is what we're going to be looking for. All right, Thursday, we have 6 minutes on the clock, 400-meter run, 100-foot sled push at a pretty heavy weight. And then you're just going to row in the remaining time. We'll rest 3 minutes. Then in 6 minutes, run, farmer's carry, ski, rest 3 minutes, and then we're going back through that again. On a workout like this, when we have 6 minutes on and 3 minutes off, looking at repeatability and trying to really focus on getting the same amount of calories on the row from the first round to the second, and the same thing with the ski, same from the first to the second, okay? Just looking at this as more of, an aerobic piece that has a little bit more mixed stuff with the carry and the sled. On Friday, we're going to have 10 minutes to establish a 2 rep max bench press. Okay, again, don't want you guys failing or anything like that, so just heavy set of 2. We've been really working on this. If you need a spotter, get a spotter. Make sure your spotter is strong enough to actually help you out, okay? It's okay to wait for a coach if you have to run over a little bit because you're on your last set and you're not going to make the 10-minute mark. Not a huge deal. Want to make sure that everybody's safe here. Always wrapping our thumbs, okay? And being safe on the bench press is important. After that, we have 8 minutes on the clock. Okay, we're going to be doing a 2,000 meter or 1,600 meter for ladies bike. And then you're just doing as many rounds and reps as possible. You have shouldered overhead at 135.95, 6 toes a bar, and 24 dubs. When we look at this, we're going to rest 2 minutes, and then we're going to do this whole thing again. Okay, so really short rest, but it's enough time to kind of reset. When we look at this the bike, this is where I would challenge you to kind of push. We're looking anywhere from 3 minutes and 40, 3 minutes 50 seconds, all the way to 4.5 minutes, which only gives us 3.5 to 4 minutes on this AMRAP. And really these reps and things right here should be, something that, the shoulder overhead should be heavy enough to where, it is challenging, but we know we can do 4 each time, whether that's push press or push jerks. And then the toes to bar, hopefully that is a 6 is something you can do in 1 set, maybe 2 towards the end as you get fatigued. And the double unders again should be in 1 set. All right, RX Plus, we're going up to 155, 105. It's kind of hard to gauge as far as like how many total rounds you can get from and that's from the first set to the second. But I think 10 plus are trying to push close to 30 to 40 seconds, 45 seconds a round would be able to get you there. So I think that's what we're going to kind of challenge the top target for. Good target again is doing 1 round a minute or close to it at 8 rounds, and then at least if we're getting 6 total rounds or 3 on the first set and then 3 on the second, that's really good too. Saturday, we're going to do a little barbell skill, hang snatch. This can be power, okay? You can work power or squat, just depending on how you feel and how comfortable you are. And if you're not really comfortable with it, then definitely going to be doing power. Adding reps to work on the skill, 4 to 5 reps per set is totally fine. Keeping it light, keeping it moving. Now, if this was the extent of your barbell skill, that's why in fitness, we're going to go ahead and roll right into a kettlebell swing instead of just going into the hang snatches, which can be squat or power. If you're a more advanced athlete, I would challenge you to do squat snatches opposed to power. But we have a you go, I go. 9 or 7 calorie on the bike, sprinting that, 6 bar facing burpees, and then you're going 3 snatches and then repeating. And really we're looking at like a 1 minute per round per athlete, so 6 total rounds is what we're going to be aiming for in this workout. All right, guys, that's it for the week. If you have any questions, as always, don't be afraid to reach out, Brandon at MakoCrossFit.com, and I'll answer your questions as soon as possible. If not, we'll see you in the gym.